Welcome to the fourth day of the Roxbury International Film Festival. We are in our 22nd year. This is our first year going virtual because of COVID, as in a lot of other film festivals. We're really excited to bring these two films, That's Wild and Knocking Down the Fences, to our festival. And so I think we want to start first by having us introduce ourselves. I'm Alison Simmons. I'm one of the co-directors and programmers of the International Film Festival. Lisa?
Hi, Lisa Simmons, director of the Roxbury International Film Festival.
And founder.
And
if you guys just want to introduce yourself and your film, and then we have a couple questions for you.
Go ahead, Alison.
Oh,
Megan.
Megan. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm the director and producer of Knocking Down the Fences, and it's a short film about AJ Andrews, who's the first woman to win a Rawlings Gold Glove, an award that was given to men or baseball players for decades. And then AJ came along and is just an incredible athlete and role model for women, and specifically, I think, for young Black women who don't have a lot of examples of Black female softball players. So AJ is just a great role model for all of us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Franklin. I'm one of the producers for That's Wild. And
I'm Michael Thomas. I'm the director for That's Wild.
Great. So I think we'll start by just kind of asking you, so what kind of inspired you to make the film, and why do you think stories like this are relevant today?
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. I heard about AJ a few years ago, and when I saw just how incredible of an athlete she was, I felt like it was a real surprise that I had never heard her name. She seemed like she was so good and she was making such strides in professional softball, and yet I didn't even know she existed, that the league existed, and it felt like here was someone who should be a household name. And so when I talked to her and she was really eager to get her story out, that was kind of the impetus for spending some time together and working on this film.
Mm-hmm.
We came up with That's Wild in 2018. Mostly I just finished my first documentary and was looking for ideas, and we were bouncing off ideas of each other, and Michael told me, like, you know, you have a big passion for the outdoors and telling stories of the inner city, so why don't you look for stories to combine both of those? And that's when I started looking up different organizations, met with different organizations from different cities. There's also a great organization, by the way, in Boston, in the Boston area, and I'm blanking on the name, sorry. And I found this great organization in Atlanta, and I met with them. We had a great connection, and once they told me we're going to Colorado for the summer, I knew that that was the group to focus on.
Mm-hmm. And so what were some of the challenges in kind of telling those stories?
Well, for us, it was, yeah, go on. You want to?
No.
Well, we were starting on a journey where we didn't know what was going to happen. Like, I was going to follow a group, but I didn't know who the characters were going to be, what was going to happen on the trail, how much batteries I needed actually on the trail, because there's no power outlets, and I wish I would have brought 4 and I only had 3. So it was a lot of decisions on the go, but I'm very happy with what happened, and slowly but surely, day by day, pieces were falling into place, and
as far as building the story.
Yeah. And then and then we kind of knew who to focus on.
Mm-hmm. But so what did you learn about the kids and kind of what the organization was trying to do? What did you guys learn as filmmakers from that journey?
Well, I think what I learned most, for me, like I'm from Oakland, California, and I had never like traveled the woods, and like me as a black man and all my black friends in Oakland, it was foreign for us. So, I just learned that there's a bigger world out there.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's it's so many other avenues you can take other than sports, and avenues that you can take other than just hanging out and chilling with your friends. It's a whole different world, and it's big and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just, for me, it was just beautiful to see them opening up, and to see, it's like you said, that's a place where people don't associate opportunities, but by them going to the outdoors, you could see their confidence grow.
Right.
First it decreases, but then it increases. And yeah, and they just get excited to go back into the city, to they start dreaming, they start believing and see a future, because yeah, like a lot of the kids are in a negative spiral in their life. So to me, it was beautiful to see how opportunities came about.
And
Yeah.
you go back home and you feel like, oh wait, like it's a big world. I can do anything I want to. I can experience. I can try new things. I can, not so much have tunnel vision and just open up. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that's really, I think films like that are really important, and also like knocking down the fences, Megan, is to sort of, that they offer kids the opportunity to see that other people are doing things that they may never thought that they could have done, right? And that, we screened another film somewhat similar to this called American Ascent. It wasn't kids, but it was sort of a filmmaker. I don't know if you know that film, but a filmmaker wanting to show that, like Black people aren't afraid of the cold, that, they tried to summit Denali. And it's the same. I mean, I think it's just really important that we have films that show kids and others that there are all these different sides to people of color. So, we thank you for doing that. And Megan, so for you, what were some of those challenges and filming her and getting that story?
And also what you learned in the process too.
Right.
I think with AJ's story, I think one of the biggest challenges was navigating intersectionality, and both the challenges she was facing as a woman and as a Black woman. And we spent a day and a half shooting. This was like a really tiny project. I was just starting grad school. And so it was trying to figure out, in this really short window of time, how do we tell a story that feels truthful to AJ and is really navigating the complexity of what she faced in her career. And I think that was probably a learning experience for me. I guess I'm not sure in retrospect that this short of a film could do justice to her story. I'm glad that I made it and that it's out there, but I also think that there's so much more maybe that could have been explored there in her story. And so, yeah, I think she was really adamant that the biggest thing that she was facing had to do with the financial burden of women who are trying to play professional softball, and that was the direction we took the film in. And I also just think there's just so much more that we could have explored.
Did you ever consider making a feature?
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in that. I also think that, yeah, I don't know. It's something I would think about, and would also be interested in talking to other people about that and seeing, who else wanted to pick up that story.
Well, yeah, because it might be kind of cool as a narrative story. I mean, I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like have it be write a narrative feature about this woman, I mean, because I didn't know anything about her before I saw that film. And it was just extraordinary that happened, that she achieved that, and not many people know about it.
That's true.
But I think as we were talking before, I mean, we're so focused sometimes on the bigger celebrity folks, who have kind of found resources, who, and who make it and become these celebrity sports people. But the stories that really resonate with people are the stories of just regular people doing things, regular people going out into nature, regular people achieving this softball milestone that, you know, not many people can do. And then people feel like it's achievable, right?
No, arguably AJ is not regular. She like
Yeah.
flies. She's like one of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen. But
Right.
the way our media industry works,
Right.
like we don't hear about her, and advertisers aren't willing to put her on the screen unless if it's for like she was in some like illustrated bathing suit edition or like modeling things. That's where women, female athletes get airtime, and so
Right.
she's actually quite. She's not so normal.
And the thing is too is that she plays softball, right? It would be so different if she was playing tennis or a sport that we, you know, that we here value, you know, differently than softball.
Right, the four sports, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so for you all, for That's Wild, it's interesting. So what's happened with those, with the kids that you took on this trip, and that do you like, have you seen them, and what are they doing now, and how has it impacted their lives?
Yes, Clifford is actually going to college right now. It's his first year in college. And the weekend before he went to college, he was able to join us to the world premiere at the Florida Film Festival, which is great. Mm-hmm. And we got to go to the beach to do some activities in safe circumstances, by the way. So that was great that he was able to enjoy before he was starting college, and especially because all the programming was canceled for the summer, which is really sad, because
right.
They had some plans to go to Minneapolis, to the state of Minnesota, to discover the outdoors up there, up north. And that didn't happen, so it's very sad. Shout out to Amani. It was his birthday yesterday. He's 16 now, they're going to high school. Like Nick is 16 or is about to be 16. Mm-hmm. He's very much into basketball right now. He grew a lot. And also, it's funny, the voices start changing too. So some of them are like a higher pitch at the beginning of the film, and then when I wanted to shoot some pickup interviews at the end, I'm like, I don't want to match no more.
I know we had another filmmaker talking about that too, and the growth of one of the kids when they kind of first started interviewing him, and then 3 months later he was like almost becoming a man. It was like, we got to shoot this really fast because, you know, his voice is changing and he's getting facial hair and.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even Nick, I remember there was a scene when they just came back from the trail in the hotel room, and Nick looks in the mirror and he said, "Wait a minute, did I get a mustache?" So it goes really fast. But yeah, like we're still in touch. They're doing well. Yeah. So what's next for the both of you, or the both of you and the three of you? For the three.
Well, since I did this project, I went to grad school for journalism, but focused on documentary, and I just graduated. I've been working on an investigative story about a juvenile detention center, and that film is done, but it hasn't been released yet. We're kind of putting together a bigger written investigation that will go with it. So hopefully sometime in the next few months that will be done, and then I have no idea what's after that. We're deep in that investigation right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're also working on an investigation story.
Oh.
We can't really talk about it at the moment. But it's going to be a nice one. I'll let Michael talk a little bit more about it if you.
Well, I can't.
Okay.
No, but it's very early stages. And also, like I said, before I met this organization in Atlanta, I met other organizations, and I actually started filming with one other organization. Like I was able during quarantine, when this whole pandemic happened, I was able to edit a short documentary about that other organization with a different angle, and that's should be playing on PBS at some time, but it's not sure when. So that's in the pipeline, and Michael is also an actor, so he has.
Oh, good, right, excellent.
Yeah, well, I'm also
just a little shout.
I'm currently on the show right now on Apple TV with Octavia Spencer, produced by Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, right.
Truth Be Told, which is an investigation with, Octavia Spencer doing podcasts.
Right.
But that's not about documentary and my personal work as a documentary producer. And then working on a pilot at the moment. Can't really talk about it, I don't think.
Wow, all this secrecy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's always so tough.
No, it's great. It's great. I mean, we just are glad that, when people come on and, we love having filmmakers who are sort of like doing these like really fiercely independent projects and working on things and creating, media that's unearthing these voices that we've never heard before, that you guys are consistently doing that. We need filmmakers like you out here, whether it's investigative or documentary, and bringing light to all of this for all of us. And it's just incredible. And we're so honored to have you at our festival, and glad that you were able to come in and do a Q&A with us and talk about your projects. But we always love to follow our filmmakers too, to see what they're up to, and people send us, updates on things that are happening.
And
so
they
it's
come
great
back with their other films. We have a lot of alum who submit. So what are your films doing now? Like Megan, what is Knocking Down Fences? Is it doing the festival circuit? Is it, for educational purposes, or like how can people access it?
Sure. It got picked up by PBS as well, so it's available on their website through the Real South. I don't know. It's a Real South programming. I'm not sure what that's called or what that's about, but.
Oh,
that's great. And how about you guys?
Yeah, that's why we got 23 film festival selections so far. I did the math yesterday. I had because I had to update the website with the scheduling. 23 website over festivals over 4 film festivals. So I'm very happy with that. Still in the talks for a distribution, but nothing set in stone yet. So fingers crossed. But those are the latest updates.
and we only have a couple more minutes, but I'm just curious about, we had talked also with some filmmakers earlier about educational distribution, because both of your films seem like they would be perfect for like PBS, obviously, but do you guys have any other connections or working with any schools or organizations, with youth around screening your films and doing curriculum guides or anything like that around it?
Yes, the film is being represented by Passion River Films, and they also do educational distribution, so it will be available on the educational platforms and the libraries.
Oh, great.
So it's definitely going to go to the educational circuit for sure.
And Megan, what about you?
And go ahead.
Oh, no. Oh.
Go ahead, Megan.
I was gonna say, no, I haven't figured that out yet, but I think that would be great, and I would love to pursue that.
Right, because there's a few organizations in Boston who specifically focus on kind of girls empowerment, and they would be very interested in looking at that. I mean, we can send them to PBS, but I know that they're looking for, especially during COVID, they're looking for films to use as a way to, to empower girls, and for that also give them a way to talk about their achievements and stuff.
Right, and maybe that production company that you guys have might be something that might be interested in Megan's.
Absolutely. We're happy to pass along the information. So We got to help each other, you know?
Right. That's what it's all about, right?
And that's what film festivals are all about. It's about like networking too. So we got to use these
Right.
opportunities. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, that would be great. We will connect the three of you via email so you can share that information. So thank you for being with us today. Really excited, as I said before, to have you. And good luck with your projects. And please let us know what's coming up when you finished it. We'd love to screen it. So let us know. So thank you very much.
Great. All right, guys, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.